Very good evening. So in this video I try to give you some information regarding the biotechnological aspects. So India ranks in terms of cultivation of the GMO crops on 5th position globally. That too, India cultivates only the PT cotton alone as a GMO crops. So remaining crops not permitted to cultivate in India. PT cotton area in India is 12.66 million hectare. That is 96% of the cotton area. PT cotton area is highest in Maharashtra, followed by Gujarat. India is the largest producer of the PT cotton in the world, and genetically modified cotton varieties are developed by Punjab Agriculture University as well as Rajasthan Agriculture University. The PAU developed varieties are PAU PT1 and F1861, and Rajasthan Agriculture University developed variety is RS2013. These two are PT cotton varieties. Total area in world under GMO crop cultivation is 191.7 million hectare. So this is scattered around 26 countries. The country with the highest area under GMO crop is USA, 75 million hectare. Leading country in transgenic use is USA, then Brazil, then Argentina, then Canada, then only India. The crop with the highest area under GMO crop in the world is soybean, followed by maize, then only cotton. The first commercially grown genetically engineered food was flavor saver tomato. The first cultivated GMO crop in the world is soybean. Some of the institutes exclusively working on agriculture biotechnology. Here I like to give you that Indian Institute of Agriculture Biotechnology, that is going to be there in Ranchi, Jharkhand. Actually, it's deemed to be university. The foundation stone was laid by the Honorable Union Minister for Agriculture on 25th August 2014. Currently, the campus is working at process and demonstration unit campus of ICAR IINRG located in Namkum, Ranchi. The National Agri-Food Biotechnology Institute, in short called as NAPI, located in Mohali, Punjab. This is the institute working with the vision of biotechnology for nutritional security. It is an autonomous institute, comes under the Department of Biotechnology. And the NAPI is the first Agri-Food Biotechnology Institute established in India on 18th February 2010. The aim of the institute is catalyzing the transformation of the agri-food sector in India. They are also working for development of the value-added products based on agri-food biotech innovations. Their core research areas are agricultural biotechnology, food and nutritional biotechnology. Biotechnology Regulatory Authority of India Bill 2013. This bill gives a provision for Government of India to establish Biotechnology Regulatory Authority of India. So these authorities responsible for regulation of organism and products of modern biotechnology, and BRAI will regulate the research, transport, import, containment, environmental release, manufacture and use of biotechnological products. BRAI will certify that the product developed is safe for its intended use, and biotechnology regulatory appellate tribunals will hear the civil cases that involve a substantial question relating to modern biotechnology and hear appeals on the decision and order of the BRAI. Penalties also specified under this particular bill with reference to conducting unapproved field trials, obstructing the impersonating and officers of BRAI, under contravening any other provisions of the bill, that is Biotechnology Regulatory Authority of India Bill 2013. So some of the varieties also developed in rice and some other crops by adopting that biotechnological tools. In rice, two material improved Samba Masuri, developed through marker resistor selections. So within the 5 years of release of these particular variety that occupy 1,30,000 hectare area, and also that give a very good return of 1,250 crores. During Kharif of 2018 alone, this improved Samba Masuri cultivated an area of 1 lakh hectare. Another variety, that is a Swarna sub, it's a flood tolerant Swarna sub. This variety also developed through marker resistant selections. This also occupying the area of more than 1 million hectare and giving a very good return for the growers. So two material developed by adapting that biotechnological tool like MAS, MAS. Then another material, that is a early flowering transgenic brassica. It's a GMO product and developed. This also one of the source for development of further hybrid with improved oil quality and quantity, but not yet obtained green signal for commercial release. Another material, transgenic bananas enriched with provitamin A. For development of these particular transgenic banana, they acquired technology from Australia and developed through gene editing and are currently undergoing the laboratory test. Then golden rice. So already we know that history of the golden rice, that Ingo Rodriguez is the father of the golden rice. He developed that rice fortified with vitamin A by incorporating gene from Erminia carnivora as well as daffodil. So in line with that golden rice development, that IRRI also made an attempt in collaboration with the national research and its national research partner for the purpose of developing golden rice variety for commercial release. So whatever that variety developed by the IRRI, for that the year 2018, three successive positive food safety evaluation is obtained from leading regulatory authority like Food Standard Australia, New Zealand on 22 February 2018, Health Canada on 16th March 2018, and United States Food and Drug Administration on 24th May 2018. On December 18, 2019, official notice of the permit issued by the Department of Agriculture, Bureau of Plant Industry, approving GR2E golden rice for direct use in food, feed or processing in the Philippines was published in the Manila Bulletin. But golden rice regulatory applications are currently under review in the Philippines and Bangladesh. Once these accepted, the variety developed by the IRRI will be released for commercial cultivations. Then another material is a green super rice, GSR. So this also developed by the IRRI in collaboration with the Chinese Academy of Agricultural Science and with the funding of Bill and Melinda Gates Foundations. So this particular material is developed by adapting pyramidal gene technology, that is genome design, traditional selection and marker resistant selection processing, mainly to improve the use efficiency of water, nutrient and pest resistance. So the green super rice will perform very well under the toughest condition. Then water efficient maize for Africa, in short call it as WEMA, that is SMET, doing research on this area. In 2009, Monsanto officially announced the source of the gene to be used in the WEMA project, that is called sock protein B, CSPB gene, that is obtained from Bacillus subtilis. And normally the Bacillus subtilis is used for preparing Japanese soy food, that is natto. Initially that gene was identified in bacteria under cold stress, and this gene helped the plant to cope up with the stress of drought, that is water efficient maize for Africa. In chickpea also the biotechnologists made some advancement. So as outcome of that, genome assemblies of cultivated and wild chickpea genetic material have been achieved. So these things will be used for identifying trait marker association, and that will be deployed for crop improvement through marker resistant selection process. In addition to that, microbial community analysis of chickpea root zone, that also thrown some idea regarding how to combat disease problems and drought tolerance in the chickpea crop. Then Alpha Safe, this is a natural solution for controlling that aflatoxin problem in maize and groundnut. Alpha Safe is a toxinic aspergillus flavus strain, that is Alpha Safe strain. That strain will control or suppress the growth of toxinic same fungal species. So this is a natural solution for controlling the aflatoxin problem in maize and groundnut. So these are all the things I wanted to convey to you through this first part. The second part, I will try to give you some more information in the area of biotechnology. Thank you very much.